Good day, we are from Group 10. We have been given a task to choose a country to establish our international banking business. Actually, the bank decided to expand their business at international level due to many factors. Our team have chosen to establish our international banking business in Singapore after the research and analysis done based on Singapore. But before we can actually establish our business in Singapore, there are many factors to be considered, such as the geographical location, country and political risk, competitive level, organization structure that we wish to establish, and the products and services that we can provide. Now, let's look at the geographical location of Singapore. Singapore is located at the heart of Asia and the crossroads of East-West trades. Singapore also has a very strong culture, business, and linguistic links to other Asian countries that makes them a strategic location for global businesses to expand their business in Asian markets. Besides, Singapore is also a leading financial center in South Asia and the world. This means that there are a very highly concentrated capital market and financial institutions that encourage the efficient financial transactions and the development of banking industry. Singapore also has a deep and liquid capital market that provide an attractive investment opportunities to the investors and the financial institutions. Besides, Singapore has also become a leading regional and global asset management center that plays a significant role in mediating the flow of private investment. Singapore's position as a leading asset management center is mainly due to its location in the fast-growing Asia. This means that we can take the opportunity to provide the asset management services to serve the large demand of market. Other than that, we also take into account the population of Singapore when evaluating the geographical location of Singapore. According to CNA, the population of Singapore rose to 1.2% due to the increase of foreign workers. For your information, the population of a country have a significant impact on the banking industry in terms of customer base. It causes the increase in the total market size of banking industry, and it directly increases the market share, the number of customers, and the potential revenue that we can earn. That's all for geographical location.
Hi and Assalamualaikum, my name is Nashta. I will continue to explain about country risk for Singapore. Country risk in Singapore is low, suggesting a relatively low probability that it will be unable or unwilling to meet its external debt obligation. Singapore has the highest possible sovereign credit rating from Moody's, Fitch, and S&P. Singapore large fiscal and external buffers that are in line with and often surpass those of other highly rated countries support the rating agency assessment. In addition, very strong institutions and governance alongside effective policy implementation ensure ongoing fiscal discipline and broad financial stability. These strengths help mitigate near-term cyclical risks and provide some cushions to address structural challenges. Singapore is ranked second out of a possible 190 economies on the World Bank Ease of Doing Business scorecard, only behind New Zealand. Singapore excels in all areas of doing business. The Singaporean government places a strong emphasis on implementing policy to enhance the business environment and facilitate investment. Singapore economy is characterized by excellent finance and a high degree of openness, with the country being highly dependent on international trade. However, there were a slowdown in 2019 is mainly due to the Hong Kong protests, China downturn, and confusions resulting from Sino-American trade war, and to a cyclical global downturn in the electronic sectors. However, in contrast, the pharmaceutical sectors, petroleum refinings, and marine engineering have retained their positions and will be back up for the problems. In response to the chaos happening, financial companies relocating their business from Hong Kong. Sustainable salary growth and a low unemployment rate will keep private consumption stable. The World Bank claimed that Singapore is one of the world's best developed countries for human capital. The monetary authority lose the pace of depreciation of the Singaporean dollar against the compound currency basket, which it add to the unexpectedly strong slowdown. Singapore gross debt remain high, while public debt is high. Financial assets held by the country more than compensate for it, help to create a stable domestic equity market. For politic issue in Singapore, politic risk is low. Singapore has one of the most stable political system in the world. The People Action Party, or PAP, has been the main governing party since 1989. Even though the latest legal issues of the Workers' Party, or WP, threaten the opposition in connection with the smooth operation of the PAP. However, in October, WP leaders were accused of misuse, and it ended their dream that they will become a confident opposition. To conclude this section, with the combination of extraordinary political stability, high-income country that serve as a regional and global hub for trade, with the world's second busiest port, strong external position with a track record of a current account surplus, ample foreign exchange reserve, and low public external, Singapore is among the most prosperous economy in the world.
My name is Yashni Devi Subramaniam. So today I would like to explain on the organization structure that suits Singapore. So based on our analysis, our team has chosen subsidiary as the best structure to set up our international business activities in Singapore. First and foremost, I would like to explain what is subsidiary. Okay, so subsidiary is an organization structure which consolidates in the host nation entirely or incompletely, which is possessed by the foreign parent bank. Okay, so there are few reasons for us to choose subsidiary, and I'll be explaining a few of it. So the first one will be the limitation on foreign proprietorship. This is because due to the Asian financial crisis which happened in 1997, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is known as MAS, has changed or introduced a couple of activities in their financial framework, and one of it is limiting the quantity of foreign banks, branches and ATMs in Singapore. So in this case, it has decreased foreign banks' opportunity of entering and include with the Singaporean monetary framework. Thus, we have chosen subsidiary as the correct passage to enter the Singaporean monetary framework. And the next reason is because of separate legal identity and asset protection. So basically, a subsidiary bank in Singapore, on the other hand, is a separate legal entity from the foreign bank, even if the foreign bank holds 100% shares. So this means that the foreign parent bank does not have to bear the losses and liabilities of the Singaporean subsidiary bank. In this case, the assets of both the subsidiary and foreign parent bank can be protected even if either banks are facing bankruptcy. And the third one will be because of tax exemptions. So as we know, registering a new subsidiary bank in Singapore, on the other hand, could prove to be tax efficient, because when it comes to the new entity operating as an independent organization, so a subsidiary bank in Singapore enjoys various benefits, exemptions and advantages that are made available for Singapore resident banks. So to wrap up my discussion today, we strongly suggest that subsidiary would be far more better compared to branch, and we strongly believe that by choosing subsidiary as an organization structure, it will help us to generate more profit and income, and also helps us to expand our business to many more other countries.
Hi, my name is Nivashni Manikam. Now I'm going to present about the competition level in Singapore market. In order to start our business in Singapore, we analyzed and measured the competition level in Singapore by calculating the market share of top 3 banks. Singapore is an international financial center where pro-business policies are practiced by the government. The attractive policies make Singapore a banking hub in Southeast Asia, along with its strategic position. There are more than 200 banks in Singapore, with 117 foreign banks and 6 local banks leading the banking since today. The top 3 banks have been chosen as top 3 in Singapore, which are DBS Bank Limited, Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation Limited (OCBC), and also United Overseas Bank. First of all, we look on DBS Bank. DBS Bank in government already established in 1968. The bank offers wealth management, business banking services and personal. DBS Bank serves customers worldwide, and it is the largest bank in Singapore and Southeast Asia by total assets, holding market dominant positions in consumer banking, market and treasuries, security brokerage, asset management, equity and debt fundraising in Singapore and Hong Kong. Next, Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation (OCBC) is placed as the second largest bank in Singapore and Southeast Asia in terms of controlling total assets after the Development Bank of Singapore, after DBS. The history of OCBC is quite interesting, as there was originally 3 banks in Singapore that merged and eventually formed it in 1932. Third, UOB Bank. As we all know, UOB Bank was established in 1935. UOB Bank is placed as the 3rd largest bank in Singapore and Southeast Asia in terms of assets. UOB has so much financial services to offer. Among these are various personal as well as commercial banking products and services. The top 3 banks' market share is 68% out of the total banks in Singapore. 68% is considered as an average value in banking system, which is not less concentrated or highly concentrated. This scenario shows that the market is not only controlled by these top 3 banks, whereby banks are also not fighting to get customers. In a simple way, the market in Singapore is having a healthy competition level, which makes the customers exposed to the best product and services from banks. Based on the analysis of the Singapore's market competition level, we strongly believe that it is a good choice to start up our international business in that country, in Singapore. We can generate high income. By expanding our product and services in the market without being controlled by the top 3 banks.
Hi, my name is Noaisha binti Muhammad Shafari. There are three types of product services we would like to offer. First is investment banking. Why we choose investment banking? According to a report by CEO World Magazine, Singapore is the best country in the world to do investment in 2020. In fact, Singapore is the third largest foreign exchange center in the world according to Monetary Authority of Singapore. Singapore derivative market are also well diversified, and according to Bank for International Settlement report says that Singapore interest rate derivative market are showing increased growth every year. For your information, Singapore Exchange is the Asia's most internationalized exchange, with over 40% of its listings are from overseas. So, based on this information given and also Singapore Exchange world recognition along with Singapore politically stable climate and also Singapore stable economy, it reaffirms our decision actually to provide investment banking product services such as fixed income securities, trust, unit trust, foreign exchange, equity, brokerage, and underwriting security, along with derivative products such as spot option, forwards, and futures. So, second is corporate banking. As we all know, Singapore is a home to many businesses. As of November 2020, according to National Business Registry of Singapore, there are a total of 536,143 business entities in Singapore, and these numbers are expected to keep growing every year. So, Singapore is also a primary chosen destination by corporate entities. So, we would like to take this full advantage to provide corporate banking services and target our corporate customers from multinational corporations to SME business and startups. So we would like to provide services of corporate banking such as loans, trade finance, deposit, payments and remittance, cash management, corporate financing, collection services. In fact, for your information, Singapore wholesale trade industry are leading all other industry in their home, which is Singapore, and this further strengthen our decision to provide trade finance services, which include export, imports, and guarantees. And lastly is retail banking. As we all know, retail banking is product or services that we would like to offer to our individual customers. So we would like to offer services such as off-lending services, deposit taking, credits and debit cards, insurance, personal investment, and electronic services. After we analyzed Singapore retail banking market, we found that the retail deposit are expected to decrease until 2022, but the number of personal loan and credit card expected to increase until 2022. And you all know that even though the Singapore population is very small, but their citizens are very well versed in using their credit cards and debit cards. And as you all know, Singapore is a very technologically advanced nation. So credit cards accounted 60% of its payment method, and electronic services such as digital wallet is the second most popular payment method in Singapore, and therefore strengthen our decision to provide retail banking services such as credit cards and digital wallets to our individual customers in Singapore. Thank you.
As a conclusion, Singapore's country risk is low and has the highest potential credit rating due to major fiscal and external reserves of Singapore that are consistent. The rules on corporate compliance are simple and easy to follow. In addition, Singapore's corporate tax policies are pro-market, and these tax advantages are applicable to foreign-owned companies. Capital movement to or from Singapore are not restricted. These factors enable startups to work free, easily accessible financing, and without expensive legislation.